Mystery Theater. Inspector Mark Sabre of the Homicide Squad.
Of all the cheap, low-down divers, Mark, this little casino takes the cake. What a place to come to on our first day back in the job. Why wouldn't send me worse anyway?
Vacation's over, Tim. We're not here for entertainment.
All right.
Hold it, there's our man.
All right, fellas, now here you are. $5 ties going for $1. Tell him you bought him from Kid, Nebraska.
Type the cauliflower ears on him, Mark, and the size of him. A heavyweight if ever I saw one.
Yes, one of the greatest heavyweights of them all, Tim, 20 years ago.
Now he's peddling neckties in a joint like this. How the mighty have fallen. Did you ever see him in the ring, Mark?
Never missed one of his fights. The Kid was my boyhood idol.
Your boyhood idol, is it? Well, times have changed. We are now ready to arrest him for murder.
The Case of the Telltale Tie.
Yes, sir, men. Absolutely guaranteed $5 ties for $1. Kid, Nebraska's own special brand. Anybody want a tie?
Well, what are we waiting for, Mark? Why don't I go over there and nab him?
There's no need to embarrass him, Tim, in front of his friends.
Embarrass him, is it? A man who's committed murder?
We're not sure yet that he has. Besides, he's working his way toward us.
Inspector Sabre wouldn't be able to keep meeting with his childhood idea, would he?
Well, if Hayden go off the great prize fighters, being sentimental, I played guilty.
Well, if he was so guilty, then what would he ever decide?
Because he didn't have the killer's instinct. What? Proof him. Kid Nebraska too soft-hearted in the ring. When the time came to the kill, he always held back.
He should have held back last night. Matt Porter would still be alive.
All right, he's now. Let me handle it.
You gentlemen wouldn't be interested in buying a nice tie, would you?
Yes, he might be.
Now, Mark.
Relax, Tim. Yes, let's have a look at them, Tim.
Oh, sure thing, mister. Get a load of this one here with the hula dancer on it. It's been selling like hotcakes.
Well, I'm afraid it's not quite my style.
Well, then I got one.
To tell you the truth, kid, the only one I really like is the one you're wearing yourself.
It's his one?
Yes, haven't got another like it, have you?
Get you out of them. Unless you have the one I got on, only it ain't clean yet. See that big spot on it there?
Yes, it is so. Well, I guess it'll have to be the hula dancer then. There you are, kid. $2 a minute.
No, only $1, mister.
I wouldn't want to hurt you.
And I sure wish I had another demon like this. I stole the last one last night. Funny, I didn't want to sell it neither.
Why, was it Matt Porter who bought it?
Yeah, right. He's a dirty low-down. Hey, how did you know it was Matt Porter?
Maybe we know a lot of things we wish we didn't know, kid.
Huh? Oh, now, wait a minute. Who are you, huh?
Sergeant Maloney. And this is Inspector Sabre, both of homicide.
Oh, cops, huh?
Sit down, kid. We want to ask you a few questions.
Yes, like, for instance, is it true you blew your top at Matt Porter here in the little casino last night?
Yeah, sure, that's true. Why wouldn't I? He came in here, see, and he bought that green tie for me. Then he tries pushing me around, calling me a punchy old bum.
You and Matt never were very good friends, were you?
At least not after he ran off with your wife.
That's what he done, all right, 10 years ago. Me, I'm all washed up and flat broke then, you see. Him, he's a big promoter. So he talked straight into ditching me and marrying him. She wouldn't have done a thing like that without he talked her into it.
It sounds like you're still carrying a torch for her, kid.
So you hated Porter, and last night you swore you'd get even with him,
I ain't denying it, Inspector.
Now you're denying that you murdered him?
Huh? Murdered? But he ain't dead. Matt ain't dead.
He's been dead since early this morning, kid. His body was found this afternoon in his car, parked at the end of the blind alley.
I didn't know he was
He was shot after he left here, kid, within an hour after your scrap with him.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You can't blame me. I didn't
You're
do
lying,
nothing.
kid. You said you'd get even with him, and you did. You were waiting for him in his car. You shoved a gun against his head and made him drive to a lonely spot, and then you let him have it.
No, I never. I wouldn't do nothing like that. I wouldn't kill nobody.
You're under arrest, kid.
No!
Shit, wait! Now he's getting away. I better stop him.
But don't fire at him, Tim.
But not. Well, okay, I suppose you're right. I might hit one of the paying customers.
That's right.
That is what you're afraid of, isn't it, Mark?
I think it was. Or was I afraid you might hit my boyhood idol? I'm sorry to trouble you again, Mrs. Porter.
It's no trouble, Inspector. But I'm afraid I told you everything I know about Matt's death when we were here earlier this evening.
Well, things have been happening since then, ma'am. We caught up with your first husband.
With the kid?
Hey.
Well, did he admit he killed Matt?
No, on the contrary, he denied it.
Of course. Oh, that poor boy. I suppose I should hate him, but I just can't. I'm sure he didn't know what he was doing.
You really believe he's not responsible for his actions?
You must have seen yourself, Inspector, how confused his mind is.
Well, confusion's one thing, Mrs. Porter. The capacity for violence is quite another.
Oh, the kid can be violent, believe me.
You must have a reason for saying that.
After all, Sergeant, I was his wife for 3 years. Should know something about him.
Do you happen to know anything about his friends, Mrs. Porter?
His friend?
Yes, people he might have gone to now that he's in trouble.
You see, he gave us the slip, ma'am. We put out a bulletin to have him picked up, but so far there's been no sign of him.
We thought you might remember some of his favorite haunts.
Well, it's been a long time, and I... Oh, I hate this. You're asking me to betray a man I once loved.
A man you think killed your husband.
And the man you say is a threat to society.
Even a threat to me, Inspector. If the kid knew I'd accused him, if he took it into his head to come here...
Exactly. So the quicker we find him, the safer you'll be.
Yes. Yes, that's true. Well, there was a man named Harry Walsh. He was one of the kid's trainers.
Oh?
The kid always trusted him. Of course, I don't even know if Harry's still in the city.
Or would your husband's secretary know?
Hugh Conway?
Yes, the man we spoke to here before. He seemed familiar with the local fight picture.
Why, yes. Hugh might be helpful. He's back in Matt's study. I'll call him for you. Oh, Hugh, can you come in here for a minute?
Be right with you, Grace. Well, back again, huh, gentlemen?
Hugh, do you happen to know if Harry Walsh is still living in Los Angeles?
Sure he is, though he probably wishes he wasn't.
Why do you say that, Conway?
Money trouble, Sergeant.
Well?
He's running the Acme Gymnasium, but it's not paying off.
The Acme Gymnasium, is it?
That sounds like our first stop. Let's go, Sergeant.
Okay, Inspector. Much obliged to you, ma'am.
Not at all, Sergeant. And good luck, Inspector.
Thank you, Mrs. Porter. Oh, Grace, you're wonderful.
Then you heard?
Every word. I was right outside the door. Come here, darling.
Oh, no, Hugh, they're still outside.
I can't help it. A performance like that deserves a kiss.
Oh, darling.
I knew I was in love with a beautiful woman, but I didn't know she was a great actress, too. The best part was when you stalled. You're asking me to betray a man I once loved.
I was afraid I was laying it on too thick.
No, they swallowed it whole. You really don't feel the least bit sorry for the kid, do you?
Somebody has to take the rap for Matt's death, darling. So why shouldn't it be that dumb ex-husband of mine? Who cares what happens to Kid Nebraska?
Harry. Hey, Harry.
Well, the big boy himself. How you doing, kid?
Hey, Harry, I gotta talk to you private. I'm in the jam, Harry.
Then Harry Walsh is your man, kid. Let's go back in my office.
Okay.
Grab a chair. What's on your mind, as we laughingly call it?
Hey, Harry, Matt Porter's dead. He got murdered. What? Yeah, and they think I done it. I never did it, but they think I did. And the cops are trying to put the pinch on me.
You are in a jam, ain't you? When did this happen?
Last night, right after he left the casino. That's what I want to ask you about, Harry. Wasn't I with you last night? Right after I got through selling ties, didn't I come up to your place and play pinochle?
You mean if you were with me last night, you couldn't have killed Matt Porter?
Yeah, I got an alibi then, see?
Yeah, I see.
Well, what about it, Harry? You remember that was last night, wasn't it?
Gee, kid, I wish I could say it was, but it was the night before last.
Oh, then I ain't got no alibi, huh?
Afraid not, and I can't help you. Too many people know I wasn't playing pinochle with you last night.
Oh, I could have swore. Hey, Harry, what am I going to do? How am I going to prove I never killed Matt?
You'd have to put the finger on the person who did kill him.
But how do I know who done it?
You don't. Neither do I. Don't hurt to guess, though, does it?
Oh.
You sit tight, kid. I'm going in the next room. Use the phone.
The phone? What for, Harry?
What for? Why, I'll see if I can find a place for you to lay low.
Oh, well, gee, thanks, Harry. You're a real pal.
For the information, give me the number of Matt Porter's residence on PLO Drive. What's that? Wait, I'll write it down. Carberry 99717. Okay.
Yes?
Grace, this is Harry Walsh.
Well, Harry. Long time no see.
Yeah, Grace. Look, a mutual acquaintance of ours just stumbled in here. You know who that would be?
A punchy ex-pug, I imagine?
Yeah. He told me what happened to Matt. Sorry to hear about that.
Oh, you didn't call just to offer condolences, I'm sure.
No, I didn't. Grace, I can alibi the kid. He was playing pinochle with me last night when Matt got bumped off. I could tell the cops that, and then they couldn't pin the rap on the kid. You want I should do that, Grace?
What makes you think I care what you do?
Just a wild hunch. I figured it might be worth money to you if I didn't alibi the kid.
How much money?
Things have been rough, Grace. I'm in the hole about 10,000.
All right, Harry, 10,000.
I gotta have it now.
I'll need a day or two.
No, I said I got the kid convinced he wasn't with me last night. If the dough ain't here in an hour, I'll unconvince him.
All right. I'll send Matt's secretary over with it.
Good enough. Nice talking to you again, Grace. Kid.
Harry, you dirty rat.
Kid.
I heard you talking to Grace, wasn't you? You was selling me out for 10 years.
Now, hold it.
My ex-wife, and she's framing me. My best friend, and he's selling me out. I ought to kill both of you.
Kid, now listen.
Trying to make me take the rap for something I never done, only you won't get away with it. Nobody's framing me.
Kid, don't. Let go of me, kid.
If this is the Yankee Gymnasium, Mark, I can understand why Mr. Harry Walsh is losing money on it. Who'd ever hang around a dingy-looking place like this for his health?
Good Nebraska for one, I hope. The door's open. Let's walk in. The gym must be down the hall, Tim.
If the kid is here, he won't get away this time, I promise you.
Now, let's not play rough with him, Tim, unless he forces us to.
Oh, for the love of heaven, Mark, you talk like he was a babe in the wood. Oh, Mark, what a collection of bruisers. Hey, you, fella.
What do you want, pal?
We're looking for Harry Walsh.
What's in his office? That door back there.
Alone?
Nah, Kid Nebraska's with him.
Thanks. Well, looks like Grace Porter's guess was right, Tim.
Come on, Mark. Let's go pick up our murderer.
If that's what he is.
So even though it breaks your heart, that's what he is, all right. Can we barge right in?
Yes, go ahead.
This time I'm keeping the gun ready. Here we go. Mark, there's no one in here.
There was someone, though, very recently.
Huh?
The cigar in that ashtray is still burning.
The kid must have seen us coming. Wait. There's another room right off this one. Let's have a look. Nope. Not a soul in here either.
I think you're wrong, Tim.
Huh? Great Caesar's ghost. On the floor over there.
Yes, a man lying behind the desk.
It ain't Kid Nebraska, Mark.
So it's probably Harry Walsh.
Well, let's say it was Harry Walsh. Before your babe in the woods caught up with him. Mark, there's no use wasting time here.
Oh, just a moment, Tim. This man isn't dead.
What?
He hasn't even been seriously injured. He's only knocked out.
Hey, you're right, Mark. There's this spot in his chin where the kid must have landed a haymaker.
Yes, just like old times. When the kid landed one, it stayed landed. Well, I better call the doctor.
There's a telephone on that desk there.
Yes, and a pad for phone numbers. I imagine Walsh has the nearest MD listed for his patrons. Now, let's see.
Oh. Hey, Mark, he's coming too.
What'd you say, Tim?
He's coming too. No need to call a doctor.
Oh, all right.
All right. Step out of it, man. Step out of it. You're not hurt so bad.
Say, Tim, does this phone number mean anything to you?
Which?
It's scribbled on the top of the pad here. Carberry 99717.
Why, that's the number of the Porter home. But what's it doing on this fellow's desk?
An interesting question. Maybe Mr. Walsh would like to answer it himself.
I don't know nothing about it.
Oh, come on now, buddy. Sit up. You're okay now.
You are Harry Walsh, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I'm Harry Walsh.
We're from homicide.
We're looking for Kid Nebraska.
Well, I ain't seen him.
Now, that's a stupid lie, man. One of your own boys out there told us that you were in here with him.
All right, I have seen him, so what?
It was he who slugged you, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Why did he do it?
He didn't like my looks, maybe.
And maybe we don't like your answers, Mr. Walsh.
All right, easy, Tim. Walsh, look. The kid came to you for help. You brought him into the next room, according to the man out in the gym. Now, he must have told you his story, and then you came in here to use the phone. You wrote Grace Porter's number down on this pad, and so my guess is you called her. Whatever you said to her must have made the kid angry, and he knocked you out.
Keep talking, Pepper.
Well, it's your turn to talk now. Why did you call Grace Porter?
Suppose I don't feel like talking.
Sergeant, what's the penalty for being an accessory to murder?
It's going to cost me $10,000 if I talk.
Who offered you that much to keep silent?
But come on, man. What good's $10,000 going to do you if you're going to be sitting in the jug for 20 years?
That's what I'm thinking. Okay. Grace Porter offered it to me.
Why?
It was worth that to her if I'd help her frame Kid Nebraska.
Frame him? You mean the kid's innocent?
He was playing pinochle with me at the time Matt Porter was murdered.
Well, I'd be Mark, you were right about the kid all along.
So it seems. Go on, Walsh. Why did Grace want the kid framed? Did she kill Matt herself?
I don't know. All she wanted him was to take the rap. The kid couldn't remember where he was last night, so I told her I'd string along for the 10 G's.
And the kid must have overheard your deal with Grace, huh?
That's right. He slugged me and powdered. Now you know as much as I do.
Well, it ain't much. But at least we're sure the kid didn't commit murder. Doesn't that make you feel good, Inspector?
Not quite as good as I expected it to.
Well, what do you mean?
The kid knows now that his ex-wife framed him.
Oh.
The woman he's been carrying a torch for 10 years. And she tried to throw him to the wolves. If you and I don't move fast, Tim, the kid will commit murder.
Yes?
Grace, it's Hugh.
Darling, where are you?
At a drugstore around the corner from Walsh's gym.
You've been there already? You gave the money to Harry?
I was there, but I didn't give him the money. Sabre and Maloney got there just ahead of me.
What?
I saw their car, and I hung around outside Walsh's door. Gracie was spilling everything to them.
No. Don't mean he told them.
Everything. They pulled a phony jail threat on him, and he folded. When I left, he was alibying the kid and describing your little frame-up.
My little frame-up? Our little frame-up, darling.
All right, it's no time to argue. We've got to move fast.
But where can we go?
Mexico. Remember that little hotel in Ensenada? I'll meet you there.
But Hugh...
Get together all the money you can. I'll use the $10,000 we were going to get Walsh. When we meet, we can...
Listen to me. I'm not going to do this. I have no intention of spending the rest of my life running away from the law. Not even for you, darling.
But you haven't any choice.
Oh, yes, I have. I can wait right here till Inspector Sabre comes and then tell him the truth.
Grace, are you crazy?
Not in the least, Hugh. I simply will...
I want to talk to you, Grace.
Grace, what's the matter?
It's a kid. He's here. I can't talk anymore.
Tried to frame me, didn't you, Grace?
Kid, listen, I can
You
explain.
thought a punchy sap like me wasn't worth nothing to nobody.
Well-
You thought nobody cared about going, didn't you? Didn't you, Grace?
No.
How could you do that to me? And me being nuts about you all these years, how could you?
Kid, I'm sorry.
You ain't even worth loving, Grace. You ain't even worth living.
Don't! Kid, stop!
Can't you get ahead of that truck, Tim? He's slowing us down.
Take it easy, Mark. After all, we don't know for sure that the kid's out gunning for his ex-wife.
It's a logical assumption.
What a dirty double-crosser that Porter dame must be.
Yes, I wonder if she also happens to be a murderer.
It wouldn't surprise me none. Did you notice a little feeling of romance in the air at that house this evening, Mark?
You think she and Conway are in love?
Well, he's a lot closer to her age than Matt was. And I wouldn't say that she seemed exactly grief-stricken about Matt dying.
Yeah, she may have something there, Tim. What's more, Matt Porter was a rich man.
Right.
The two of them could live very comfortably off the estate he left. Well, step on it, Tim. It's only a few blocks more.
I've got the gas down to the floor now, Mark.
The next street's Paola Drive. You turn right at this corner here.
For the love of Pete.
What's the matter? Why are you stopping?
Mark, look who's standing there in the corner.
Kid Nebraska.
Yes. Looking like he's lost his last friend. You want to talk to him, don't you, Mark?
Yes, of course I do.
Look, Mark. The big lug's crying.
Kid?
Huh?
Kid, come here.
Oh, it's you, Inspector, huh?
Let's climb in back there. What are you doing in this neighborhood, kid? Where have you been?
I couldn't do it. I went there to do it, and then I couldn't.
Went where to do what?
I went to see Grace. I was going to kill her. She framed me, Inspector. She sold me down the river.
Yes, we know all about that. What happened when you got there?
Nothing happened. I couldn't do it.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess I just ain't no killer. Same like when I was in the ring. Could never slug a guy when I had him on the ropes. I grabbed her. I was going to choke her, and then I let her go.
Get moving, Tim. Up to the Porter place.
Right. She deserved killing, no. She ain't got no right to be alive.
Kid, what happened to your tie?
Huh? Oh, what'd you say, Inspector?
Your tie. The green one you were wearing at the little casino this evening. Where is it?
My tie? Hey, that's right. It's gone, ain't it? I don't know what happened. I guess I must have took it off somewhere.
Why would you have done that?
I don't know, Inspector. I've been on a run all night. I guess I got hot or something. Oh, my collar. I don't remember. I don't remember it.
All right. Time out, kid. We'll go in and get Grace Porter's version of what happened.
I don't even want to see her again, Inspector.
That ain't hard to understand, kid.
I have a few questions to ask her and Hugh Conway. I want you to be present.
Well, okay, only I ain't going to say nothing to her.
Ring the bell, Tim.
No need to, Mark. Someone's opening the door.
Inspector Sabre, thank heavens you're here. I was just trying to reach your office.
Why, what's the matter, Conway?
I got home myself just a moment ago. Sergeant, don't let that man get away from you.
Hey, I ain't trying to get away.
Oh, what's eating you, man? What's happened?
Follow me. I'll show you what's happened. In here in the living room. There's what's happened.
Holy Grace.
That's how I found her when I walked in, lying there like that.
Is she dead, Mark?
Yes, she's dead, all right. Strangled to death.
With that necktie that's around her neck.
Yes.
A green tie it is. A tie just like the one you were wearing, kid, and aren't wearing anymore.
And that's all I can tell you, Inspector. I was out for a while and...
Out where, Conway?
Why, downtown. Grace asked me to do an errand for her. I called her from a payphone, and in the middle of our conversation, she screamed. She said Kid Nebraska had walked in, and she hung up. She was obviously frightened.
Sure she was. Why shouldn't she be? I told you, Inspector. I grabbed her and started choking her, but I never killed her. I let her go.
Yes, long enough to take off your tie and start using it on her.
No, I never. I swear I
Then
never.
maybe you can explain how the tie got around her throat.
I don't know. I tell you, I lost that tie.
Really, Inspector, isn't this a little absurd? What's to be gained by all this talk when you've got your murderer?
He's right, Mark. I know how you feel, but we're wasting time.
Yes, I suppose we are. Everything does seem quite clear.
Inspector, you don't think I've done this? I never...
No use, kid. No matter how loud you holler, that necktie is what's going to convict you.
I disagree, Tim. The necktie is what's going to save him.
What? Save him, is it?
What are you talking about, Sabre?
Has it occurred to you to wonder, Tim, why a man as powerful as Kid Nebraska here, a man whose hands are notoriously strong, would bother to take off his tie to strangle a weak woman?
Well, now that you mention it, Inspector, it is a question.
Not a very important one, I should say. The fact remains that the kid was here and admittedly threatened Grace, and that it's his tie.
Wrong, Conway. I saw the kid's tie myself earlier this evening. He called my attention to the fact that it was soiled.
Yeah, that's right. My tie had a big spot on it.
But the tie around Mrs. Porter's throat is brand new and spotlessly clean. It's never been worn.
No. That means nothing, Sabre. It only shows that the kid used one of the other ties he had for sale. He probably carried it in his pocket.
No, wrong again, Conway. The kid had no green ties like this one left. I tried to buy one from him, but he was all out of them.
Mark, you remember? He said he sold the last one to Matt Porter.
I did.
Exactly. And the one he sold to Matt was the one used to strangle Matt's widow. It must have been lying here in the house since Matt brought it home last night.
Now who's wrong, Sabre? According to your own theory, Matt didn't come home last night. He was shot in his car just after he left the little casino.
It was a mistaken theory, Conway. Matt Porter did come home. The presence of the tie here in the house proves that.
Then maybe he was murdered right here, Mark.
Yes, he probably was, Tim. His body was carried out to his car and driven across town to the blind alley where it was found this afternoon.
You think Grace done it, Inspector? Grace killed Matt?
No, kid. If she had, there'd been no reason for killing her.
I follow you, Mark. She was bumped off because she knew who murdered Matt?
That's right, Tim. The person who murdered Matt was afraid Grace would expose him. She may even have warned him that she would. Perhaps when he called her on the phone. So he came rushing back here to stop her. Now, he may have seen the kid leaving the house without a tie, and he got the bright idea of strangling Grace with the tie Matt had bought from the kid. He thought that would establish the kid's guilt. Unfortunately, he didn't take into consideration...
Mark, he's getting away.
Stop him, kid. Don't worry, I'll stop him like this. Yeah. That ought to hold Mr. Conway for a while, huh?
Well, the saints preserve us. That left hook.
What a beautiful thing to behold.
Yes, indeed. It always was, Tim. Kid, you're still tops.
Gee, thanks, Inspector.
Well, now let's get Mr. Hugh Conway down to headquarters where we can book him for 2 murders. And after that...
Yes, Mark? After that, what?
Why, after that, Tim, I'm going to fulfill a lifelong ambition. I'm going to take Kid Nebraska to dinner.